especially with the first half. I thought we played really good the first 20 minutes, and then we got a little bit sloppy and played kind of to the scoreboard. And I thought they played really well in the second half. They made a lot of shots. They got in rhythm, and a lot of that had to do with our start in the second half. But other than that, you get 28 assists in a basketball game and out-rebound your opponent by 16, you shoot 56%, you score 107 points. I mean, there's just an awful lot of good things. Got a lot of guys playing well, sharing the basketball, doing a lot of good things. And this was a good 40-minute effort for us, and now we've got our toughest test to date coming up Sunday against Long Beach State before we head to the Bahamas.
Can you talk about Bryce's performance and just how confident he's looked helming the offense for the first 3 games?
Well, he's been terrific. I think he's turned the ball over right there at the last of his minutes. I think he had at one point 13 assists, no turnovers. So you get 13 assists, 28 points. Got to the free throw line again. He's just doing a really good job. He and Isaac both. I told Isaac in the locker room it wasn't Isaac's best shooting night. And yet he has 5 assists, 1 turnover. You got to find other ways sometimes when you don't shoot the ball particularly well. And it wasn't a bad shooting night. It was just not typical of him. And yet he found other ways. And to have a 5-to-1 assist ratio and defend, that's what he had to do tonight. And I thought Bryce, he had a light strain to his hip flexor. Didn't practice 2 days ago. Practiced very little yesterday. So for his effort, after sustaining a little bit of an injury, was just terrific. I just thought that he controlled the game. He dictated how we wanted to play, both offensively and defensively, especially what he did in the first half of getting us going. But it's becoming contagious because we got a lot of guys sharing the basketball and moving the basketball, and that starts with your point guard. And I thought he was just terrific tonight.
When you have a lot of these, big margins of victory, do you have to think about, how much you want to give guys time on the floor together to gel, or versus how much time to rest them?
Yeah, right now the minutes have been pretty good. Had we expanded that lead a little bit more in the second half, we might have rested a few of them. But Thomas, Noah, Gigi was in double figures tonight, and Juana. That's our bench, and all of them were in double-figure minutes, and that's probably the minutes that they'll fluctuate a little bit, but those starters are going to be 28 to 34 minutes. That's what we're trying to condition them to. And we were banged up a little bit. Thomas was banged up, Bryce was banged up, so we did not go at it like we normally go at it in practice the last 2 days. So a little bit worried about the conditioning and that's why we stayed a little bit longer there in the second half to make sure we're getting the wind and the conditioning we need, because now the next 2 days we're not going to do much either. We're going through a stretch where we're playing 5 games in 9 days. Now it's 4 games in 8 days. So that's a very demanding stretch with a lot of travel. But we are who we are, and that bench will continue to develop. But just looking at the minutes here, those are pretty close to where our minutes should fall.
You guys had 40 points in the paint tonight. Is there any extra emphasis on getting the ball inside?
Well, we thought we could. Not a relatively big team, and without really a shot blocker and maybe a true center. And we wanted to make sure we get Tony going. And I thought that was a big key to start the game. He had 2 dunks in the first 10 minutes of play. He went aggressively. He didn't turn the ball over. He made good decisions. He got to the free throw line 10 times. He rebounded the ball. He became that dominant center in tonight's game, and that was good to see. He was coming off a game where he had 6 turnovers. So for him to respond that way, that shows maturity and growth on his part. And I thought that was a big key because he started it, and then I thought we drove it well. I thought all the guards from Norman to Bryce to Isaac, they did a really good job of driving the basketball, sometimes for their shots, sometimes to assist others, depending on what it looked like. But I liked our decision making. I thought we made really good decisions with the basketball, controlling the ball, getting the shots that we want to get, and you've been pretty efficient offensively. You get 107 points, so not a lot of complaints there. If there's something we got to look on, and we'll bring up in films tomorrow, our second half defense was not near as what it was in the first half.
Coach, last year, Parker was in foul trouble a lot. This year, well, tonight, 2 fouls. What you guys are doing to keep him out of foul trouble?
Well, it's not really what we're doing. It's Tony. You know, we're not. There's nothing else that we're doing as coaches. It's really that's on the players, and you know he's doing a really good job to date. I told him in the locker room that I thought he had a really good game, except I thought his defense in the second half was not near where it was in the first half, and he relaxed, as did a few others. They kind of relaxed by the score, and you can't do that. You got to take advantage of every 20 minutes, and that's going to be a big key for us because I think Thomas will continue to develop, and he's going to be really good coming off our bench. So if we can hit him with Tony and Tom, keep those guys out of foul trouble, it gives us a big post presence, not just offensively, but it gives us somebody at the rim that's big when we got these long athletic wings, whether we're man or zone. That's going to help our defense. So staying out of foul trouble is going to be big, and so far, you know, Tony's done a pretty good job to date. Now it's early, but he's done a pretty good job to date.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.